Ever since its debut in October 2024, the Absolute Universe has been launching some pretty kick-ass issues, and adding to this lineup is Absolute Evil, a twisted, limited series about DC's most wicked. Let's explore what this issue is all about. But before we continue, we have a small request for you. Tap on that subscribe button and join our subscribers. It might just be a click for you, but it means the world for us. Thank you for your support, and now let's begin. The House of Un-American Activities Committee. We begin with a peek into the past as 1951, where the Hawkman is brought into the House of Un-American Activities, or HUAC. The Hawkman has a simple task. He has to give up his secret identity and names to help America get rid of the pesky communists. Back in the present, Oliver Queen, aka Green Arrow, practices his archery skills in the Arrow Cave, where he has spent quite an amount of money building an archery range, a high-tech computer setup, and a garage with a convertible that has an ejector seat. Queen is after Jubal Slade, an evil man who has been corrupting kids on his island. Sounds awfully similar, doesn't it? Queen is pressed to find Slade, as he has bought off cops and the court to keep him away from any legal repercussions. Queen, having what can only be described as a moral crisis, is hell-bent on curing the moral cancer of the world, rotting away the souls of people. And he intends to begin with the capture of Jubal Slade. Elsewhere, Jubal calls his confident and millionaire friend, Hector Hammond, to complain about Oliver Queen's sudden sense of morality. Hammond asks him not to worry about it, as Oliver is just a man who would rather feel righteous than doing what's right. He even comes up with a sum, $5 million, that he believes would put Oliver's awakened conscience right back to sleep. After his talk, he tries to walk into a meeting, but the security guard insists on him leaving his electronic devices out of the room. Hammond does not take kindly to this, and tries to remind him that he has businesses worth more than countries, but the security guard doesn't budge, insisting on informational boundaries to maintain national security. When he walks in the room, we are greeted by the who's who of evil. Veronica Cale, the National Security Advisor, Director of Area 41 and adversary to Wonder Woman, heads the meeting. Sitting around the table is Ra's al Ghul, the former healer and Batman villain, Eleanor Thorne, lead scientist at Project Olympus, and the Joker, an elusive businessman whose real name is not known. Though the Joker is pretty spooky with his clown makeup, Joker in formal clothes and slicked back hair is even creepier. The issue at hand. The meeting going on is pretty serious as Hammond tries to ham it up and asks Cale for a macchiato. Ra's al Ghul, having none of that, shuts him up real quick and tells him that nobody at the table has enough time to waste it. Joker adds that he does not enjoy jokes with a glare that could set Hammond on fire. Cale takes the opportunity to explain the issue at hand. Her story begins in New York, 1939, where young chemist Wesley Dodds earned a fortune from his patents for improved anesthetic compounds. Dodds would later moonlight as the masked Detective Sandman, whose weapon of choice was a non-lethal sleep gas. It didn't take a genius to realize that the anesthetic chemist is the sleep gas wielding vigilante. Soon, Dodds was found shot dead in his basement, and his laboratory had been ransacked. Just 1 year after Dodds' death, the US military acquired a lethal nerve gas. While conspiracy theorists asked whether the gas was made of Dodds' stolen notes, historians noted that the gas helped America win a lot of wars, and to Cale, that was all that mattered. Her second story was that of Ted Grent, a professional boxer who became the masked fighter, the Wildcat, after he was framed for murder by some thugs. He cleared his name, beat the thugs up, and began patrolling the streets of Gotham as the Wildcat. Eventually, he saw a shady deal happening between a factory inspector and a munitions magnate. Money exchanged hands under the condition that the factory inspector would look the other way on some safety standards. That was the last the Wildcat ever patrolled as that night. He received $50,000. Grent opened a gym with that money in Schenectady, lived a full life, and died in his sleep at 81, though 16 people died in the factory that Wildcat refused to report. It was where the nerve gas was made, and that is what helped America win the war. Again, Cale only cared about that. An example to the contrary of Grent was Iron Munro from Los Angeles, who was a stuntman in 1951 and has superhuman abilities. Claims were made that the man could outrun a locomotive and stop bullets. When he was called in for a HUAC meeting to mention the names of other superheroes, he refused. abused, and his life was ruined. He was forced to move to a shack in the Nevada desert, which was coincidentally and accidentally targeted for a chemical weapons test. That was the end of Monroe. Cale mentioned all these examples to show that whoever steps out of the status quo has been dealt with till now. Those who say yes to the carrot need not fear the stick. Unfortunately, the status quo had been disturbed recently thanks to the incident at Gateway City. After the arrival of Tetracide, a monstrous, otherworldly creature, Wonder Woman had arrived on site and immediately taken control of the situation. She had turned the Tetracide into a stone and destroyed it with one punch. While normal government agents would have been happy to see that the people were protected, Cale saw the bigger picture. She had seen that Wonder Woman had taken operational command of the scene, and that just didn't sit right with her. She wasn't the only new threat, as there was also Superman in Brazil, Batman in Gotham City, Flash at Fort Fox Base, and Green Lantern. The rise in superheroes would not have been so pressing for Cale had it not been for the inspiration they heralded. She did not know why cops didn't shoot a man dressed like a bat, and moreover, did not understand how others refused to see the threat the superheroes posed. Cale had a proposal for everyone. Since they all had the resources and shared her worries, she proposed banding together to make sure the superheroes, or as she called them, monsters, don't destroy the world as they know it. Hammond is not that hyped up about the idea, as he feels like he has a good hold on the issue. Cale offers a demonstration and calls in the Hawkman. The Hawkman walks in with a mace in one hand and the ragged corpse of Oliver Queen on his shoulder. It's hard to believe Green Arrow was killed so quickly into the issue. Ra's al Ghul tells Hammond that together they could deal with problems in just a day. As Hammond looks on in utter surprise and bewilderment, Cale explains that together they just need a phone call to take care of issues, no favours and no effort. Dr. Thorne is the next to object, as she doesn't believe the need to be in each other's pockets. What is justice, anyway? The Joker is the next to speak, and it doesn't matter how much I repeat this, but that man is drawn to be as creepy as physically possible. Joker shares some proprietary information that he got from recent research conducted in a particle physics lab. While many consider the Higgs boson, aka God particle, to be the final piece of the quantum mechanics puzzle, there was actually another recently found particle called the Omega particle that explained quantum mechanics. This basic building block of all creation apparently housed a moral dimension to it. Just like gravity pulls things down, there was a force that dictated the morality of the world. It was by design that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, as all forces move in one direction. According to his logic, the world was just as it is, and the proof was in nature and was dictated by the Omega particle. Whoever dared to disturb this order through anarchy had to be dealt with swiftly, just like they did with Oliver Queen. And to make sure there was no injustice ever, they all decide to band together. Joker ends his speech with a toast to an ordered world and their new organisation, the Justice League. The reveal of the new allies was disconcerting, as we all know the Justice League to be a superhero organisation that fights against true injustice and has real moral values, unlike those twisted by Joker's clever words. An even more surprising twist comes at the end, though, as we realise that though Cale was leading the meeting, the real leader was the Brainiac, who was keeping a close watch on the meeting through screens with the Mirror Master. The Justice League had been put together by the Brainiac to make sure there was perfect balance. Cale's beliefs balanced Thorne's skepticism, while Hammond's ego balanced those of Hawkman and Al Ghul. But to balance the Joker, he needed someone else. As he calls this someone else, we cut to a quiet farm where a man enjoys coffee with his wife. This man, who looks cheery and satisfied, is shown to be the nefarious Lex Luthor. His characterization is a bit different though, as he doesn't have his signature bald head and clean-shaven face. Instead, he is shown to be a redhead with a thick beard. Perhaps the stress of associating with this new Justice League will push him to change his looks, but only time will tell. Verdict. Al Ewing and Giuseppe Camuncoli's work is truly amazing as I wait on tenterhooks for the next issue. You've heard me sing praises of Joker's characterization, but the Hawkman's leather costume is also noteworthy. What did you like most about the first issue of Absolute Evil? Let us know in the comments below, and if you liked the video, make sure you tap that thumbs up. We will soon be back to explore more awesome comic books, but until then, take care.